Welcome to our channel. Avengers. Doomsday's missing cast backs up a popular MCU theory. Avengers. Doomsday is expected to feature a large ensemble of characters, including Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom. Captain America's actions in Endgame may have led to an alternate 1950s timeline in Doomsday. Doctor Strange's absence in Doomsday hints at a focus on new characters and different realities for the next Avengers movie. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is gearing up for its next big crossover event, kicking off with Avengers. Doomsday. Phase 5 of the MCU is rounding off with 2 new Avengers movies, marking the first full-blown outing since 2019's Avengers. Endgame. While the Kang Dynasty had to be hastily reworked as Avengers, Doomsday, it led to the unexpected opportunity for Robert Downey Jr. to return to the franchise, albeit in a very different capacity. Expected to follow in Deadpool and Wolverine's footsteps with crossovers from the history of Marvel movies, the 2-part saga is also tipped to top Avengers, Endgame's iconic portal scene in terms of characters. Aside from Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four, Doomsday's cast is growing to include the likes of the Thunderbolts and Haley Atwell's Peggy Carter. As more famous faces get invited to the party, fans now know one person won't be part of the ensemble. The MCU's main event is just 3 movies away, but it sure doesn't feel like it. The Russo brothers have to get one thing right to save Doomsday. Avengers. Endgame went back to the start of the MCU and focused on the original 6 Avengers, but with it, there came some tragic goodbyes. Even though Chris Hemsworth's Thor and Mark Ruffalo's Hulk have remained active in the MCU, the current Avengers lineup, if it can even be called that, looks very different. At the forefront is Benedict Cumberbatch's Dr. Stephen Strange, but speaking to Variety, the star confirmed he won't be in Doomsday. Cumberbatch's comments suggest that Doomsday is going in a very different direction, telling the outlet that it has to do with. While many assume Doctor Strange would be a staple of Doomsday, his absence could work in the franchise's favor by backing up a popular theory. Robert Downey Jr. is confirmed to make his Doom debut in Matt Shakman's The Fantastic Four: First Steps, which makes sense given the villain's history with the team. First Steps takes place in a 1960s retrofuturistic reality away from the Earth 616 timeline. Considering RDJ played Tony Stark/Iron Man in this reality, it's possible that Doomsday will focus on characters from this timeline instead of the main variants seen so far. Over on Reddit, u/Lollipop Chainsaw ZZ theorized that Doomsday will be set in an alternate timeline that's triggered by Steve Rogers, Chris Evans, going back to 1949 during Endgame's finale. The Russo brothers seemingly rounded off Evans' arc in the MCU by having Cap return the Infinity Stones to their rightful place to prevent the branching timelines that the Ancient One, Tilda Swinton, warned Bruce Banner about. Cap got his happy ending and his long-awaited dance with Atwell's Peggy Carter. He decided to remain in the past and appear as Old Man Cap to hand over the Captain America mantle to Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie, in 2023. The MCU's complicated time travel rules suggest that Rogers staying in the past would have created its own branch timeline. Meanwhile, the appearance of Old Man Cap in the Earth 616 timeline suggests something is off. The theory posits that Rogers' meddling in the 1950s is responsible for creating the Fantastic Four's retrofuturistic backdrop and could have sparked a chain of events that led to Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom instead of Iron Man. Pieces like Atwell are already in place, while Evans has been talking about coming back to the MCU for years. He briefly reprised his role as Johnny Storm/the Human Torch for Deadpool and Wolverine, but fans want more from the actor. It wasn't long ago that there were whispers that Marvel Studios was planning a Disney Plus series that followed Steve Rogers returning the Infinity Stones, with each of the 6 episodes showing a period of history where Cap dropped off the individual stones. The high-profile departure of Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror presumably led to logistical and story problems behind the scenes, so it's possible the Cap series was reworked into Doomsday. There's enough story there for things to be spun out from a limited series into a whole movie, while Rogers has the credentials to carry an Avengers movie. Avengers. Secret Wars is rumored to reboot the MCU, and Kevin Feige's comments on X-Men plans may have hinted at this theory being true. It's possible that Cumberbatch is misdirecting fans, but considering his role in Doomsday wouldn't exactly be a surprise. It would be odd to mislead fans in this way.